for another G.I. Joe toy review. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of my childhood figures. Uh, he is the 1989 Footloose, also known as Footloose version 2, or more commonly known as the Slaughter's Marauders Footloose. As forementioned, he was released in '89. He was on the shelves until 1991 when he was discontinued. His original retail price was $2.29, I believe. Yojo.com didn't have his price listed. I want to say $2.29 to $2.99, somewhere in that ballpark, just going by past experiences. Footloose was released as a part of the subset or subteam of Slaughter's Marauders. As most of us should know, that Sergeant Slaughter is a very, very insanely popular action figure amongst most collectors. Some people, I do remember, thought that he only belongs in wrestling. He doesn't belong as a part of G.I. Joe. There was an actual debate, I remember, being held at school between diehard WWF fans and G.I. Joe on the playground. That was pretty interesting. These kids were really arguing. I know one kid's name was Charlie. I can't remember the other kids, but Jay was the other boy that were really getting into it. But Sergeant Slaughter had his sub team, the Slaughter's Marauders. They were just repaints of old action figures. I like the repaint. We'll get into that when we look at the action figure. But when he was released, they just repainted a bunch of the older action figures. And what I like about these sub teams is it gives you a chance to buy an action figure that you may have missed on the first release. And I didn't quite catch on to all of that as a kid. I didn't really get in depth with it or pay much attention to it. But when I really started getting heavy into G.I. Joe, I was like, well, man, I want to get Duke. And I'm looking for Duke, and they don't have him. It didn't really dawn on me that they didn't make him anymore. So when these sub teams start coming out, I was able to get Duke again. And I was able to get this action figure and that action figure. And this happened with Slaughter's Marauders. It consisted of Footloose, Sergeant Slaughter, Barbecue, Mutt, and Junkyard, Lowlight, and Spirit. So I already had Barbecue, but I bought him anyway. And I didn't have Footloose, so I bought him. And those were my two original Slaughter's Marauders. I should have bought Sergeant Slaughter. He is pretty difficult to find at a cheap price these days. But little did I know how insanely expensive these would be in the future. Just a dumb kid at 14. So I snatched him up pretty quick. I had purchased him from a store called Yellow Front. These stores originally started off in the 1960s as an Army surplus store. Why was it called Yellow Front? Well, the entire front of the store was painted yellow, which was pretty common with Army Navy stores or Army surplus stores. It distinguished them from the rest of the stores. So if you're looking for them, you just look for a store with a yellow front, and you found them. So Yellow Front, as it progressed, it slowly turned into a discount sporting goods shop. And that's the way I remember it. They started stocking toys, of course, and to keep the kids entertained while the parents shopped. Well, I was really excited when there was a yellow front that opened near my house. It opened up on Apache Trail, as I had talked about before, and Ellsworth Road. It was in this relatively new shopping center that was there. I mean, there was an auto parts store there, a clothing store, which later turned into a video store, and Walgreens was their anchor store. Well, I frequented Yellowfront, and I had a paper route at that time. I was delivering a newspaper, um, working from with the working for the mother of a kid on my wrestling team. We had a penny saver route. Uh, his mother was the route manager. So I was delivering this newspaper, just a very thin newspaper. It mainly had ads in it, a local ad newspaper. There were dating ads and other stores that would advertise um, what they had. And, that's all it was. It wasn't a news type paper. So I was making money doing that. So every payday, of course, like a kid, you have money burning a hole in your pocket. So I'd run right down to Yellowfront, and I would buy my GI Joes there. A very tough selection that year. Um, I remember buying the Annihilator there, Footloose, and Barbecue. Those are my memories about this guy. What more can I say about him? Uh, the packaging, yes, the packaging was really neat. I really liked the way they did the packaging. I don't have his file card, and I'm not going to put you through the misery of trying to read it off the phone. That was just terrible. It comes up real blurry, because you have to expand a really big picture to get it. So let me pull up pictures of the packaging at least so you guys could take a look at that. Come on, camera, pause. So as you can see, the packaging is quite different. It's done up in the Marauders colors, and it's really neat. It, for me, I don't know about you guys, it was the card art that really sold the action figure. I'd see the card art, and then I look at the action figure and made my decision from there. I normally bought by how I felt about that figure. I didn't buy it because I needed it to complete my collection, but by how I felt. And I passed up a lot of really good Joes because of it. And but that's what adulthood is for, right? You buy the toys you wanted as a kid. Alrighty. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. All right, so here he is, Footloose in all of his glory. Let me, there we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. These are just a remold of Footloose's accessories. They're all done in black. So he has this really nice backpack. He has 2 grenades on it. Nice little canteen pocket down at the bottom here. They even did the buckles and everything. And he has another flap over here to cover the main part of his pack. More straps on it. Not bad. It's a pretty decent backpack. He came with his M16. The strap is made out of hard plastic. You'll commonly find these broken or completely cut off. I'm starting to find those on the aftermarket where kids have cut these off. I understand why it was annoying and it didn't really look realistic. So I wish G.I. Joe would have had more M16s. This is a nice looking rifle. And he came with a rocket launcher, and my is broken. The strap is broken. A Law rocket. His final accessory, haven't had his helmet off in years, is his black helmet. This was green, and the foliage camouflage was painted brown on the original one. But pretty nice indeed. Now, Footloose himself, you'd see he's done up in the Slaughter's Marauders camouflage. There are some people that don't like the blue on there. It really doesn't look right for me, but I don't mind the blue color. It makes them stand out quite a bit. You see my example as a broken thumb. This is very common with the Slaughter's Marauders figures. His left thumb is starting to get a stress mark on it. The plastic that they used for the hands, or for the arms, I should say, is a softer plastic. So the thumbs do tend to break off. So that's something to look out for. But here on his right hand, he has an ID bracelet. I'm thinking that might be like a POW MIA bracelet that some people had worn during the Vietnam era to show support for a soldier. He has a watch on his left wrist. Paint apps on him aren't very good for his face. His eyes are brown. He has a brown mustache, brown eyebrows, and hair. He looks kind of like a guy I used to know. Here on the front of his chest, he has a bayonet, another hand grenade, and a pouch. He has pouches on both legs. His pants are bloused into these jungle boots. And he has a strap going down his back for his backpack, done in blue. The color scheme on him, like I said, some people just don't like, but for some reason it works. With this chocolate brown and the blue, it really breaks things up and makes the colors pop. So not too bad. Figure is decent. I like him in that color scheme. But I don't think his helmet, like I said, I don't think it's been off since '89, since I put it on him. I was that kid that would put the helmets on and leave them on. That way they wouldn't get lost. And rarely played with the accessories. There's something I failed to point out. I'm sorry about that. This is the original Footloose's backpack. As you can see, different colors. I was thinking about it, but didn't. Slaughter's Marauders, the original Footloose. His accessories, the other accessories, are relatively the same. I can't really tell much of a difference. It would appear that the Slaughter's Marauders accessories or the weapons, I should say, from the original Slaughter's Marauders might have a little better, brighter sheen to it, but that could just because wear on this. But this is what came with the '85 Footloose. And his machine guns, or his M16s, are the same color. So it's really hard to differentiate without having them in your hands. The '85 under a bright light will be a matte finish, and the '89 or Slaughter's Marauders have more of a shine to them. So that's pretty difficult to see. So if you're looking for those accessories, if you absolutely want the genuine accessories to that action figure, you could send a message to the seller and ask if it appears to be glossy under a light. Otherwise, it's the same thing. They're both black, save for the backpack, which is done in that tan color. So that's something to look out for. If somebody tries to sell you with a black backpack with version 1, it's not correct. So this action figure is he's pretty decent. The downfall to him, I don't like the little pinpoints that he has on his eyes, that for his eyes. That I'm looking up at the other one. They did a little better detail on the eyes with the 85 version. Accessories are the same. The blue, yeah, it's a little distracting, but the color scheme works for some reason. So let's go ahead and get into my favorite segment, Byron's Gripes. First off, I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I picked up 3 of them, 3 new subscribers this week. I've gone ahead and subscribed back to your channel, so thank you. If you did not see me subscribe back to you, that is because your channel is made private and YouTube doesn't display your channel name. So unfortunately, I cannot subscribe back to you. So I do Byron's Gripes as a reference material. I pull up all of the information off of eBay, not to pick on eBay nor the sellers, but the prices on these guys are nuts. So I'm typing it in, 1989 G.I. Joe Footloose, and let's see what we get. I started doing this segment when because of when I started getting heavy into collecting again. I would buy figures every once in a while, but not on a frequent basis. So when I really started picking up collecting about 6 years ago, I really didn't know what a decent price was. So I kept on contacting HCC 788 and said, hey, is this a decent price for this figure? And, what would you pay? So I figured I would save everybody that hassle of having to wait for a response from somebody. I would just do this video and do this segment. And then I start realizing just how nuts these prices are. So I don't quote auction prices because they're fluid. They're always going up. So this guy is out there. There are quite a few of them. So Footloose by himself, $29.99. He's a sub team, so yeah, you're going to, even though he was released for 2 years, you're still going to pay a higher price for him. His backpack, there's one for $2.99, $3.39 shipping, and another one for $4.95 with $4.45 shipping. The $4.45 is a little high on the shipping, but it's not the seller that selects the shipping. eBay has an algorithm that the shipping is automatically calculated. And I've noticed a lot of times that sellers will, well, I should say a lot of times, about 80% of the time, sellers will reimburse the shipping cost. Others just don't. And if the shipping is too nuts and they don't reimburse it, I'll get back with them and say, hey, this is how much it costs to come here, and you charge me this much. And 99.9% of the time they'll reimburse the shipping. Okay, so somebody has one that is carded with an AFA grade of 80. AFA, I have no faith in them anymore. After Toy Poly did an experiment on AFA grade. Just briefly, he had a toy that was already graded. He broke it open out of the case, and it cost a lot of money, about $200 to grade that. So he sacrificed for the channel. He took said action figure, sent it back, and when it came back graded, it came back with a different grade. It was the very same action figure. So that shows that there's no set formula that they use for grading. It's all depending on the grader. So this one has an AF grade of 80 plus, which is near mint. $375. That is just nuts. Yeah, it's a vintage figure, a popular figure, sub team. So you're going to pay big for him. But it has an or better offer. Here's another Footloose, no accessories. He has both thumbs, which is a bonus. $39.99. No, Sir Ebenezer, or better offer. Here's another one with an AFA of 80 plus, $429.99. Heavens no, take a hike. Wanting to get rich off this. His waist piece, $8.99. Oh, and there's a $12.80 shipping. You're going to have to ship in a bigger box if it comes in a plastic case. Here's one that's mint on card, not graded, $250. And what was the first one? $375. Okay, so there's no compensation for paying to have it graded or better offer. Another backpack, $350. One for $280. Deal of the day on that. His legs, these are coming from Canada, so you're going to pay a little more in shipping, $941. His torso, $941. A bunch of backpacks. $350 is about standard what you're going to have to pay for this backpack. The other guys just see it as G.I. Joe and think, bing, hey, there's money. Just because it says G.I. Joe on it, it does not mean it's valuable. Okay, there are some very valuable Joes out there right now, some very valuable toys in any genre, but something as common as Footloose, no. Backpack 304 with $350 shipping. That guy's looking to make some money. Another torso or another waist piece for $11.77. Let's see if I can find, yes, 100% complete. This one's coming from the Netherlands, $84.90. But guess how much you pay for the Netherlands? International shipping is getting to be expensive. $43.06. And expect to wait a long time right now because of the crisis, the COVID crisis that we're in. There aren't a lot of people working in the Postal Service, especially in coastal states. New York, New Jersey, especially got hit hard last year. So a lot of people, unfortunately, have passed away. A lot of people are sick. So expect your mail to be late, especially internationally. And the rest are Night Force. So that's what all the pages were. There's a Night Viper. Let's see if I could find something else. Another Footloose. So I'm reading it this to you live, pardon me. Asthma. Ugh, sucks. And we've been getting a lot of rain and snow. It actually snowed here in the valley yesterday, which is pretty rare. Our elevation is relatively low. Yeah, that's all of Footloose. The rest are just figures from 89. So there aren't a lot of these for sale right now. If you want one, just be patient. More pop up. And that's to be said for a lot of this stuff. Just be patient. If you see it and it's a little expensive, you could either purchase it or wait. Um, I've found in my case that waiting, sometimes the price goes up. Case in point, I had a chance to buy, I still kick myself in the butt to this day, a cat tank, the Crimson Attack tank, the Sears exclusive, the black one with the red turret on it, or the red gun on the top. I had, it was working, it was complete. The seller was wanting to sell it for $60, and stupid me, I passed it up. Said, no, I'll wait. I was never able to find one again for $60. So yeah, that was a Sears exclusive. Okay, it was a limited number, so the price, you're going to pay a lot for that one. So the one I bought, I got it cheap because it was broken. It didn't work. It's missing an engine cover. I already reviewed it, and it was missing a set of wheels because the posts had been broken. Well, I bought replacement wheels at a very good price, and those happened to have the broken posts. So I glued the posts on the tank, slapped the wheels back on, and it sits in my display case. Does not move. I will not attempt to replace the motor, because I do have a working motor in a custom example that I made. So yeah, you stand at, my point being, you stand a greater chance with the price going up. So it's up to you if you want to spring on it or not. I can't tell you yay or nay. For me, I will wait and take that chance, because there are people out there who are selling them at a lower price. Or I go and hit up my vintage toy store, and I've been shopping there enough where the owner will work with me a little bit on the price. Now they sees I know what I'm talking about. So certainly don't want to shortchange that man. He has a business to run. But if I can knock a few bucks off the price, I'll be happy. And they won't sell it if they don't want to reduce the price. So all that being said, patience does pay off. It there are people out there that are selling at a cheaper price, or they're marking down because they're pricing themselves out of existence. So I'm starting to see more and more being discounted. So eventually these prices are going to get to be so high that it's just going to burst this dome that's sitting above everything, and the bottom is going to fall out of the market, and you won't be able to get rid of these things. And I do remember a time where I was seeing Star Wars and G.I. Joe being sold for $1 or $2 a piece, maybe as high as $5, complete. And at that time, like, nah, I'm not going to buy them. I'm, more interested in this toy line. By that time I was buying 80, now the 95 Star Wars. I was really heavy into that, so I stopped buying G.I. Joe after that, and that's when I was starting to see those decent prices on them, and the vintage Star Wars still were at decent prices. So there you have it, guys. Sorry I was getting off on a tangent there, but I like to share these memories and just opinions on things. So I hope you liked this review. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and click subscribe and tap the bell next to it. That way you'll be notified when I upload. I upload every Tuesday. I am no longer working for the hospital that I was with. There were some, let's put it this way, creative differences. So I moved on. Um, I'm at a much bigger hospital, and I'm not working working alone as a respiratory therapist. There were some nurses there to help, but 9 times out of 10, it was just me having to solve the problems that I was facing. So this other hospital, there are other RTs that I could, you know, come and get really quick for a second opinion. Um, it's not an easy job. Let's put it that way. And oftentimes I do need a second opinion on things. If I run into something that I've never seen before, yeah, it is scary making a decision and acting on that decision because you're dealing with somebody's life. So fortunately, these are educated decisions, and I haven't run into a problem with these decisions, fortunately. Let's knock on wood that I don't. So I will be working the night shift, so I'll still be able to shoot every Tuesday. That's my point. I prefer the night shift. It's a little bit slower pace. You're not really having to deal with family members and administrative staff. It's a lot less busy, a little more laid back on the night shift. But traditionally, most people get sicker at night for some reason. Just to, speaking from experience, and the ERs are usually busier at night. So there you have it, guys. Don't forget, when I reach 500 subscribers, I'm getting closer. When I reach 500 subscribers, I will be holding a giveaway for the channel subscribers or supporters. I will be giving away a 6-inch classified gold-headed destro, or the Profit Dealer destro, or Profit Director destro. And for my channel supporters, I will have 2 giveaways because there are more of you. One of them is a classified snake eyes, and the other is a complete Python Patrol asp. So that's something to look for. When I reach 500, I'll be holding that giveaway. So, want a chance to win prizes? Just be a subscriber. That's it. Every milestone I reach, which will be every 100 subscribers, I hold giveaways. So until then, you guys stay safe. Please wash your hands. Please wear your masks. Social distance. There's a new strain of COVID that is more contagious out there. So it's being recommended that you double mask. So yeah, wear 2 masks out there. I double mask at work. We have been ever since the start of this. And I could safely say it helps. Your top mask catches most of the germs, and that's the one that we throw away right away. And our bottom mask, which is the N95, it's the high filtration, we'll keep that on. We'll wear that for 2 or 3 days more, but we keep on changing the top mask. A lot of folks are wearing cloth. Those are just as effective. Wash those. Okay, very important. Wash those every 3 days. If it has a little charcoal filter in it, pull that out. Remember to pull it out. Line dry or air dry your masks. Don't throw them in the dryer. Some of those materials shrink. Don't hand wash unless it specifically says hand wash. Yeah, just make sure your masks are clean. It gets dirt and oils from your face, and that I'm speaking from experience, wearing a mask for days and days and days on end, the same mask. I was starting to get abscesses developing inside my nose. It's from dirt building up in there. So, but that's just me. I'm prone to infection. So keep your masks clean, and that will keep you healthy. Let's put it that way. So until then, you guys stay safe. Remember, always be kind to animals, and especially be kind to everyone. Times are nuts right now, right? And your animals know nothing but unconditional love. So see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. This is Joe Motion Videos 82 saying bye.